Hello, you're with Libby from libbystamps.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. And today I'm continuing my series on celebration products that you can choose when you spend $90 Australian or more. Plus I send you a thank you gift as well, so how good's that? 2 freebies for a $90 product purchase that can come from either the Occasions catalogue, the annual catalogue, or even the clearance line, so long as it adds up to $90. So today we're using Lots of Lavender, and these are a couple of cards I've already made. This one's just pink on pink, powder pink on powder pink, and I've just fussy cut the image, which I've coloured with a blender pen and ink from the lids of the ink pads in Rich Razzleberry, Wisteria Wonder and Pear Pizzazz. And then on the inside I've just used the flower and the leaves, and the same on the envelope. So that's one I've done. Oh, and this is a stitched shape framelits die. So that's one. And then here's the other one using this image here, and I've coloured it with Stampin Blends. And who knew we had Rich Razzleberry ribbon? We don't really. This is the new white organza ribbon, which I've coloured in Rich Razzleberry Stampin Blends. And if you want to see how to do that, my friend Leonie's done a video on it. And I've just added a couple of rhinestone basic jewels to the front, coloured it with Rich Razzleberry Light and Dark and Pear Pizzazz, and I've used the colour lifter. And the inside and the envelope have received the same treatment. Just a word of warning though, this is done on thick Whisper White, which is meant for the Stampin Blends. This is done on normal Whisper White, so just touch the paper because it doesn't take really very well to the Stampin Blends, and the same with the envelope. So today we're going to make another card, and I decided we'd use some lemon lime twist and some Night of Navy. So what I'm going to do, and this is a bit of an experiment, I'm going to stamp the image of the flower, stamp the image of this flower here in Night of Navy, and I'm going to bring the ink pad to the stamp just to make sure it's fully covered. Oh, missed a bit. There we go. And that's the advantage of doing that, having photopolymer stamps. You can see exactly where everything is and everything's going. Now this is a piece of thick Whisper White, and it's just a scrap piece. So I'm going to stamp on the diagonal just to fit it on. There we go. All right, now while I've got the ink out on the inside of the card and the outside of the envelope, I'm just going to stamp that flower, and then I'm just going to leave that. We're doing a portrait card. I'm not going to colour these images in at all, so I'm just inking up in Night of Navy and stamp down, and then I'm going to stamp again. Just going to do like a little border, and that's the other good thing about photopolymer stamps, that you can see exactly where you're stamping. Alright, so that's the inside of the card, and then this is the envelope, and I'm just going to stamp once on there and then once on the bottom here. Alright, so that's all our stamping done for today. Now I'm going to come in with a Whisper White card, and I'm just going to pop the inside into the card.
If you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line.
And we've already done the envelope. Alright, now on the front I've got I'm going to put a layer of Whisper White, Lemon Lime Twist, and this is Whisper White as well, and I'm just going to layer them up on the front of the card I'm going to stamp on this piece a sentiment from Beautiful You, and I'm going to put wishing you brighter days to come. I've got a couple of friends who have cancer and I like to send them a card each week, and I'm just going to stamp that in Night of Navy also. Line it up on my grid paper, which is clean, and I'm actually going to stamp upside down because that just will work better at the moment. Alright, so there's our sentiment done. Lots of Lavender, which is what we're using today, is a photopolymer stamp set with 11 images in it, and they're meant to be a watercolour wash, but we're going to use our Stampin Blends today, and I've put them somewhere safe. Now if you buy all the blends from me, I will send you 2 of these stamp cases and the 2 templates to go with it. If you would like to join, you can use the Stampin Blends as part of your kit. At the moment, joining is still only $169, but you have the other advantage of choosing 2 stamp sets up to the value of $174. So that means your kit could be, in total value, about $400, or just over $400, all for $169 and no obligation. So once you buy the kit, there is no obligation. However, there are opportunities, and I would encourage you to look at the opportunities that are available. You can join my team, Crafty Owls. We have a Facebook group that's private, and I do some training on there. We have challenges and chat updates from Stampin Up, and you also have the opportunity to join a few other groups on Facebook, and Stampin Connection, which is the worldwide group for Stampin Up demonstrators, and Stampin Up actually run that group, and it's full of inspiration, tips and ideas, all sorts of things. So lots to do, plus you have the opportunity of doing the Quick Start program, which will gain you some extra stamp sets, and you will promote, which means you get more than your 20% back when you finish that program. So you have to remember that for every order you put in after you join, you get a whole 20% off. So how good's that for absolutely every order? Have a think about it. Contact me if that's something you'd be interested in doing. You don't have to do parties or workshops or whatever if that's something you're not comfortable with. And you've got 7 months to make your first quarterly minimum, which is for about $465. And during that time, you get the latest catalogue. The new catalogue comes out in June, so that's a really good reason to join as well, and you get pre-order, and I'd love to have you as part of my team. Now, if you haven't realised, I'm quite passionate about paper crafting. When I was working, it was my stress reliever. Now that I'm retired, I do it nearly every day just because I love it. You don't have to have a blog and do videos like I do. Don't have to do any of that, and I can support you in whatever way you want. So give it some thought, and I'd love you to join my team. Alright, so far I've used the light and the dark of the old olive for the leaves, and I'm just doing the light Night of Navy up the top here because I think that's closest to the sun. Now, don't colour all the way to the edge when you're using your Stampin Blends. They are alcohol markers and they tend to bleed through a bit, and because we're not using an archival safe ink pad, you also have to be aware of that. But things are looking pretty good because we let it dry. Let the ink dry after we stamped it because we stamped those other images, and it's looking really lovely. So I might have to get another colour out, I think. I'm just going to get some rich raspberry out and do that bow. I think that'll look nice with the lemon lime twist. So I'm just going to come in and lightly do the bow. As I said, don't go right up to the corners of the edge of the image. Even if you use archival safe ink, you don't want to go right to the edge because it will bleed a bit because of the alcohol. I'm just touching that paper and I'm just dotting down the edges there because I don't want the rich raspberry to be overpowering. And it's alright to leave some white space because in nature not everything is full of the colour. You've got your light and your dark, and your colour lift is great for that. So I'm just going to finish colouring in here.
Let us see inside your mind. You'll find inspiration. All I'm saying is you can do it. I want to hear you say I am independent. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am. Watch me go. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Can you hear me say yes, I am? Lead, inspire destiny. Require every dream to believe. Take the chance, lead the dance, and run with what is in your heart. Let the magic start. You're in charge. Yes, you can. What's the plan? Come on, let's do this and do it now. I want to hear you shout. I am.
So we're done. I've used light and dark gold olive, light and dark night of navy, and light and dark rich raspberry and the colour lifter for that. And then I just need to come in and fussy cut, which doesn't take as long as you think. So leave a little bit of space around your image, and then if you make a mistake it's not quite so obvious. And you move your card, not your scissors. So get it into a position where you can easily see and just cut it out. So I'll be back when I've done that.
I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am. Watch me go. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Can you hear me say yes, I am? You can do it, change and grow. You can have it, don't you know? You can be it, anything, anything you want. I am independent. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am.
Okay, so there's our image cut out, and we're going to put our card together now. Now, I'm just going to use some mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of this piece because they fit nicely.
Doing it my way, doing it my way. Can you hear me say yes? I am independent. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am. Watch me go. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Can you hear me say yes? I am independent. Watch me. I am dedicated. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Yes, I am. I am in control. I am. Watch me go. Doing it my way, doing it my way. Can you hear me say yes, I am? Hey, if you wanna play, make it about a place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see inside your mind. You'll find inspiration. All I'm saying is you can do it. I wanna hear you say
Oh, we might come in with some of these. These are glitter enamel dots, so I'll do that instead of rhinestones or Tutti Frutti, and I'll use some of these lighter ones because they're more like the lemon lime twist, look almost the same. And maybe one more. How's that? So there's our card using Lots of Lavender, and that's today's card with the envelope. And there's the inside of the card, so that's one sample. There's another, and there's a third, and you can choose this from the celebration brochure when you put in a $90 order from either of the current catalogues or the clearance line, just so long as it adds up to $90. Use the hostess code and I'll send you a thank you gift as well. All right, thanks for stopping by today. That's it. Bye for now.